All right, 2023 Streetfighter V2 in this very cool matte army green color. This thing is immaculate condition, but I just got off of the 959 and right before that the Panigale V2, so I am very curious to see how much different this bike really feels. Yeah, height's very much the same. Yeah, no, it pretty much feels a lot like a 959, but no pressure on the wrists, which I'm not mad at it. So we're gonna go ahead and be in sport mode. I don't hate that. All right, so these are hydraulic clutches. It is a very different feeling than the average wire clutch for a lot of people. So you know, look into it. It's not a bad technology. A lot of really fast bikes use them. So yeah, hydraulic clutch. You'll see this on Busas, you know, on Harleys, sport touring bikes, things like that. So it definitely is a technology that works. You know, you just got to get used to it. If you have any complaints about it, you know, a lot of it with some practice could be fixed. Let's check highway. I thought I saw CHP on the mountaintop. Good thing I'm going the speed limit. Yeah, so this bike definitely feels a lot like the V2. I'm about to try to find out if it has any more top end power necessarily. These mirrors are not where I need them to be yet. Oh, very similar. Okay. So this bike compared to the V2, I will say it probably has a little bit less of a dead zone in the middle, but maybe a shorter dead zone, because I know that these bikes, you know, generally they detune them a little bit on the power side, more for torque. I don't know if that is the case, to be honest, with this one for an absolute fact, but what I can say for sure is this bike does have a similar sort of setup. Plenty of torque down low, has sort of a dead zone, and then towards 8,000, 9,000 plus RPM, it is right back to a full race bike, which I'm sure that if you lived with it for a while, you could turn that into actually a very perfect street bike. You know, stay underneath a certain RPM if you don't need all the aggression, and open it past a certain RPM and downshift if you do. Now, some people want their bikes to be very smooth and consistent across the power band. I don't know if a tuner can fix this, but all I know is it's very fun. I'm not leaned over on my wrists like the 959. I actually like where my knees are better too, compared to the 959. I feel like my lower body position is just a little bit better. I'm not sort of sliding forward, which can get created by the V2, by the Panigale's really low handlebars. You know, you sort of slide forward. This one does have some tank grips, so could be the fix, could not be, probably not, to be honest. It probably is the fact that I'm also not putting any weight on the handlebars or towards the forward of the handlebars. Yeah, so this bike is absolutely excellent. Honestly, I have no complaints on this thing so far. It has traction control, it has all the goodies that you could want. Up and down quick shifter, works well. It obviously looks really good. I think personally Ducatis are some of the best sounding stock exhausts. You know, Suzuki maybe a close second. R1 as well, I give the R1 that. But so it sounds good. It looks very, very cool. You know, anybody looking at this bike, so far I have not met a single person that thought this bike was ugly. You could say it doesn't have wind protection. Call me what you want, but you can't call me ugly. And this thing is absolutely gorgeous. So far, power, maneuverability is right on par with what I expect from a Ducati. In a 959 pretty much, in a naked platform, exactly what I would expect. Now we have the pleasure of throwing it into a corner. So let's see what this thing is made to do. Yeah, this mirror is kind of messing up my flow here on my upper body, but if you're not doing any track or canyon riding or anything, you probably shouldn't end up touching this mirror. But if you see what I'm doing with my right hand, that's kind of blocking me. So that's probably the one thing I would say, is if you're thinking about doing a lot of canyons and stuff, I would maybe go for, maybe it's not a different set of mirrors. That I have seen this been fixed by having this little arm thing underneath. So pretty much if you swivel this upside down, it'd be down here, which would allow you to go over the handlebar like you're supposed to. Yeah, no complaints on this bike. This thing is absolutely excellent. It is exactly what you think it would be. It's a 959, but just upright. I do feel a lot more of the 959 DNA in it than I honestly expected. So I am pleased to say that this bike didn't get neutered as soon as it got into the naked lineup, which a lot of bikes do. MT-10 is one of them. Still a great bike. Still a great bike. Before you CP4 heads get on me. So final impressions of this bike, I have no complaints. Again, overall, it's probably not the most comfortable naked bike in the world. It still is a little bit leaned over, you know, to the like compared to the likes of a, you know, FZ09, something like that. That's a very, very comfortable bike. But as far as suspension and commitment goes, I think this bike is much more focused. I would compare it more to the Street Triple 765, something like that, than a FZ09, because the FZ09 is very comfortable. It's a very nice bike. It's fun around the town, but when it comes to more serious things like leaning over on the side of the tire, you'll hear a lot of complaints about suspension and sometimes even brakes, which is why the MT-09 SP now exists for way more money. So I think that gives you a good idea, and you make less horsepower with that MT-09. So whew, got you there. So overall, great bike. Come check her out. We do a lot of test rides, and we do nationwide shipping, so come check it out.